Hiya Rob, nice to meet you the other day, great working with you. Let's just recap on the session. First of all, we had a problem with the ball being too far forward in the stance, encouraging the hands to be too far back at setup. So what we see here on the top left is a ball position that's a little bit more central in your stance. Felt like it was a long way back initially, but it wasn't. You then have a little forward press that puts the handle forward. This is much more similar to what we see here with Parnovic on the top right. Now, Parnovic's quite an extreme example. He plays the ball well back, the hands are well forward, hits a big draw everywhere. I'm not necessarily suggesting that that's the way we go, but in this instance it just gets the point across nicely where we want the hands to be and the angle in which we want the shaft to lean at setup. Previously, because the ball was so far forward and the hands were so far back, allied to a strong left hand grip, the takeaway tended to be a little bit too much on the inside as the left wrist bowed. That accentuates the shut position at the top. And as you come down, you were explaining that you felt like you came over the top. However, if we look at the shaft angle coming into impact, and we compare that to the shaft angle halfway back, the shaft angle is steeper coming down than it was going back, but it is by no means over the top. If we look at the angle of the shaft there, if we extend that down, that angle is actually pointing out slightly in front of the golf ball, which would suggest actually we're a little bit underneath and a little bit too much on the inside. So the feeling of the over the top is a bit of a false feeling or a bit of a misinformation from whoever's giving you that. What you do get is a position where the club swings quickly to the left on the through swing. You can see there the club quickly to the left. Exits the body quite low, a little bit beneath the left shoulder. And the reason for that is because the ball has been so far forward, the hands have been back, you've been too far behind it coming into the downswing, and as a result you've got to throw the club head at the golf ball in an attempt to release the club to hit the draw. Unfortunately, the shot pattern you've been getting is a push to the right, or more importantly, an overdraw ball that starts straight and then draws too much. If we take a little look at Parnovic, he's a guy who hits a big draw, the ball's back, the hands are forward, and as he comes through the hitting area, there's not a hint of release. Certainly no flip. You can see the hands lead the club head into the hitting area. There's absolutely no flipping of the wrist at that point. Very passive with the hands. And that's the position I'd like you to work on. When the right arm gets parallel with the floor, the shaft we need parallel to the floor also. Just try and work that into your game before I see you next time. If we compare that to what we see with yourself here, as the right arm reaches that parallel position, you can see there that the shaft is way up in the air. That's caused the club face to rotate quickly to the left, which is leading to that pull that you're getting with your irons as you're hitting shots into greens. The other thing we mentioned, or that you brought up, was this feeling that you shouldn't be moving laterally during your downswing. However, the footage that we showed you, Hogan, down here on the bottom right, we can see that there's a lot of lateral movement. If you watch the hips in the downswing, they're continuously moving forward as they unwind. So again, that's something that you maybe have been told you don't want to do, when in fact when you look at most of the ball strikers, there is a lateral movement as the body unwinds. And again, if you watch Parnovic, he makes the same sort of move, get rid of those lines for you. The hips are moving forward as they unwind. The important areas that I want you to work on before I see you next in a couple of weeks' time is the feeling, that address, that we're going to get the ball back, we're going to move the handle forward, and in the through swing we're going to try and develop the position that we see Parnovic in just after impact there. Good luck with it. I'll speak to you again soon. We'll put you in and hopefully get working again in a couple of weeks' time. Well done.